guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be trying out a bunch of new makeup that I've never used before. So if you would like to see my first impressions and what I think of everything, please keep watching. So the first thing I'm going to be trying out is this Milani Prime Light Primer. So this says it's strobing plus pore minimizing. Normally you don't see those two things together, so this will be interesting. So I'm just going to take about I guess like a penny size. Ooh, and it looks really like pearly. I'm just gonna apply that everywhere. It doesn't really have a smell to it. Nothing that I can smell anyways. I don't know, I can't tell because I use the Glam Glow moisturizer and that smells like orange creamsicles, so it's kind of hard for me to smell anything else because that's what my face smells like right now. But this feels good. It feels more like a moisturizer than it does a primer. That's really pretty. I like that. So for foundation, this has been out for a while. I just haven't gotten around to using it. It's the story of my life. This is the Maybelline Dream Cushion Fresh Face Liquid Foundation. So I have two shades here. The first shade I have is number 10 and it's in the shade Porcelain. And then I have the shade Classic Ivory and it's number 20. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into shade 20 Classic Ivory because I think Porcelain is going to be a little bit too light for me. So when you open it up, you get a mirror and a little poof. And I did use this little poof thing when I tried out the Lancome Cushion Foundation and I actually really liked it. So I'm going to do one side with the little poof thing and then I'm going to do the other side with a brush, I guess. We'll see. So that's that right there. It looks a little pink to me. Ooh, but it looks like I'm getting like really good coverage so far. I might just do my whole face with this little thing. I didn't think I would like it as much. I don't remember being obsessed with the Lancome little poof thing when I used that, but I like this one. That looks good. That looks so good. I love this. So I think I'm just gonna do my whole face with this and then I'm gonna go back over everything with a sponge. And I'm just going to go back in with a second layer just over the areas that I know I need extra coverage. So pretty much my T-zone area. Now I'm just going to go over everything with my Real Technique sponge just to make sure that everything's blended in to my skin. Okay, so that's it for foundation. I love this foundation. I swear every Maybelline foundation I've tried, which I think is just 3, the Matte and Poreless, the Dewy and Smooth, and this one. I haven't tried the Better Skin one yet, but every single foundation I've tried from them, I love. And this is definitely one I can see myself using again. I love this foundation. So good. So the next thing I have to try out is this ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I have mine in the shade Fair 5. And it has like a flat doe foot applicator, so I really like that. And a lot comes out, just like the first, like when you first take it out, like look at all of this. That's so much product that comes out, even though I probably didn't need this much, but So I'm gonna do one side with this little Real Techniques like concealer sponge. I think that's what it is. Or I mean, you can really use the sponges for anything you want, but I'm gonna use this one for this side because I want to see how it blends out with a sponge. Ooh, this is a nice concealer. It looks like it's going to be like pretty full coverage. It kind of reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape, but way cheaper. That looks so nice. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side of the sponge too because I like how that turned out. Normally I would use a brush, I almost said sponge. Normally I would use a brush to blend out my concealer, but I think since this concealer is so full coverage, I can get away with using a sponge. And I definitely did not need as much as I used. That's for sure, but that looks good. That blended out so nicely. So far, this foundation and concealer combo is amazing. Let's hope the rest of the products I try out are good because so far everything is great. So I don't have a new under eye setting powder to try out, but I did get this. It's the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed Airbrush Silk Pressed Anti-Aging Finishing Powder. And I'm not sure where it came from, but I want to try this to set, I don't know, like should I use it for my under eye? I don't think I want to put it on my under eye since it says it's pore minimizing. So maybe I'll just set my T-zone with it. And I'm just going to use my Morphe E48. I heard this powder is supposed to be really good, so. It kind of reminds me of the Too Faced, I think it's called Prime and Poreless powder. That's what this reminds me of. Ooh, this is nice. This would be like a really good powder to just keep in your makeup bag to kind of like fix the areas that get oily throughout the day. This is a really nice powder. And I'm just going to go ahead and set right here. I'm just not going to touch my under eye because I feel like this would be like too much for that. But this is a really nice powder. And I'm going to do my lids too. Oop, I should have got those creases out. Dang it. Ooh, this is such a nice powder. This might be my new favorite powder to set my lids with. Wow. That looks so good. So far we have 3 10 out of 10s, right? No, 4 10 out of 10s. So since I don't have a new under eye powder, I'm just going to use my MAC Emphasize powder to set my under eyes, and it'll just kind of help brighten them some more. It doesn't really feel like I needed to set my under eyes though. Next up, I'm going to be doing my brows. So I'm going to try out this LA Splash Ultra Defined Brows, and this is what it looks like. It just comes in a little ball, and it's in the shade Hydrangea Taupe, and it's a brow cream, and I love brow creams for my brows. Well, it might help if I took the lid off so you could see what color it was, right? So this is the shade right here. And I'm just going to apply it with my trusty Anastasia brow brush that I always use. I finally got my eyebrows waxed. I haven't had them waxed since like April because I hate doing it. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, it like stresses me out knowing that I have to go and get my brows waxed. I don't know why, it just does. So I'm just gonna, oh. Kind of feels like putty in a way. Oh wow, okay, it's really pigmented. I think a lot is gonna go a long way with this product. I barely dip my brush in there. Ooh, what's going on really nice. now I'm just going to set them with my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I really like that brow cream too. Like, I feel like that little thing is going to last a really long time because you barely need anything. So that might be replacing my new favorite like e.l.f. brow creams that I've been like obsessed with. This might be replacing it because I love this, and I love the shade too. So I feel like I do need to set my face a little bit because it does feel kind of oily, not oily, sticky. So I'm just going to use that same It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores in my Too Faced teddy bear brush, and I'm just gonna lightly set my face so that way my bronzer goes on better. And also, like, a big deal for me is when foundation doesn't seep into these forehead wrinkles that I have, and this one didn't, so that's freaking awesome because the only other foundation that I've used recently that hasn't done that either is the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. So that makes me happy. So moving on to bronzer, I'm going to be trying out this Kevyn Aucoin Celestial Bronzing Veil, and it's in the shade Tropical Days. This is what the packaging looks like, and then you just press that little button and you get a mirror, and this is what the shade looks like. So it's kind of like an ombre bronzer. It also looks like there's a little bit of shimmer in here, so I'm just going to dip my brush in there a little bit, and oh, it's really pigmented. Holy moly. I barely put my brush in there, and I had enough for both cheeks. Like, wow. Wow, this is super pigmented. It's a little warmer than what I normally pick, but I like it. And I don't really see a lot of shimmer, but I can't really tell. I don't really mind shimmery bronzers because I feel like it just makes me look like more glowy, like have more healthy skin. I know a lot of people just like matte bronzers, but I actually don't mind. And I didn't even have to use a lot either, so that's even better. I'm just going to do a little bit more on my forehead. You guys, I can't believe everything I've tried so far. I absolutely love. Like, this never happens. Like, I cannot believe this. I love everything so far. So for blush, I'm going to be trying out Kylie Cosmetics blush in the shade Hot and Bothered. I've tried one of her highlighters before, and it's called Strawberry Shortcake, and I love it, but I've never tried her blushes, so I'm excited to try this. It looks so pretty. And I'm just going to apply it with this little Tarte brush. I don't know if it's really pigmented or not. It doesn't look like it. This brush already has some blush on it, so so it's not as pigmented as you would think it would be, which is probably a good thing because this color, like, I feel like if it was overly pigmented, it would be like too much, you know what I mean? I feel like it's going on kind of splotchy, actually. I feel like I'm gonna have to like build this up. And I feel like I've dipped my brush in here like a lot. So I think it's a really pretty shade, but you definitely have to build it up. Which, like I said, because the shade looks kind of intimidating, it's probably a good thing that's not super pigmented, because if you went overboard with a blush this shade, it would not look good. Next, for contouring and highlighting, I'm going to be trying out this Charlotte Tilbury, which Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks are so good. If you haven't tried them, they are worth every penny. My favorite shade is Pillow Talk. So good. But I've had this and I've wanted to try it out. The packaging is so like luxurious. So on the inside, you have the contour shade and then the highlight shade. And mine's in the shade, this is called Film Star Bronze and Glow. For fair and medium skin tone. She did come out with like one for deeper skin tones. So I can't wait to try this. I'm just going to be using my Morphe R10 brush. It's like my new favorite brush to contour with. I feel like I can never tell on my cheeks anymore if I'm like contouring. Oh wait, I think I just saw it. I feel like I need to start doing my contour before my bronzer because I can never really tell. Yeah, I can't really tell. I won't really be able to tell until I get to my nose. So I'm just going to go in with this Morphe M330 brush. It's kind of like a tapered blender. And let's see. I really like this shade of contour. Normally the shades that I use are like super gray, and this one is kind of like a actually it doesn't really look gray at all. It's more of just like a light brown. I like this. I like everything so far. And then I'm just gonna go in with this little brush just to bring those lines a little bit closer together. I think that looks pretty good. I like it. My skin's also like really dry right now for some reason, so I have like some dry patches, but I like that contour. So let's try the highlighter that was on the other side, and I'm just going to be using my Anastasia highlighting brush. Oh, this is pretty. It's like not too much at all. It's really pretty. I can totally see why people are making a big deal about this. It's really nice. Add some more right here. I feel like when I put highlighter like right on the balls of my cheeks, it just kind of makes my face look a little bit more lifted, and I really like it. So let's go ahead and move on to eyes. I'm going to be trying out this Urban Decay Vice palette. Talk about the packaging. Holy moly. It has a huge mirror too. Oh my gosh, that mirror is really good. It kind of reminds me of the mirror that's in the Jaclyn Hill Holiday palette that is like amazing. So let me try to flip this over. I already took the brush out because I don't ever use them, but this is what the palette looks like. So pretty. I don't even know what to do. I kind of want to try out those green shades. So to set my entire lid area, I'm just going to go in with a shade right here called Framed. And I'm using a Sigma Large Shader E60 brush. And I don't really need to set my lids because I already set them with that It powder, but whatevs, right? So there isn't really a transition shade in here at all. So I guess I just have to make a decision right now what I'm gonna do because there's not a transition shade. Maybe I'll just do like a silver look. I haven't done one of those in a while. So I'm gonna go in right here with the shade called Discreet, and I'm using a Morphe R38 brush. I don't know if this is gonna work for a transition shade, but I'm gonna try. It's kind of like a cool tone purple taupey shade. So we're really limited. There's only like 4 matte shades in this whole palette, and like if I'm being honest, I legit only bought this palette for that shade right there. Like I bought this whole palette just for that shade. So I guess I'm just gonna go in with, let me see what this is. So the shade Bones, I thought it was like a matte gray, but it's actually a shimmer shade. It's kind of like a champagne. So I guess let's go in with this shade right here. It's called Delete. And we're just gonna kind of deepen up the crease and the outer V with that. I mean, the shadows are blending out nice, so there's no complaints there, but I feel like this is one of those palettes that you would only grab if you were looking for a lid shade, because normally I would need like more options for like crease shades, and this one doesn't really have a whole lot, so I feel like I would only be grabbing this palette if I wanted a pop of color on my lid. I'm just gonna keep building up this Delete shade a little bit. So let's pick out a lid shade. There's this really pretty kind of metallic silver shade I want to use, but then there's this like pressed glitter that looks pretty nice too. So let's use both. I think I'm just gonna use my finger. So I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It's called Low. I'm gonna try applying it with my finger. Ooh, it's chunky. Okay, I think I need a glitter glue for that, because I'm getting some fallout. And it's kind of like the same shade as, well, it's just kind of blending into that Delete shade. It's not really brightening up that lid area or anything. So let's go on top of it with this shade right here. It's called Robbery. It's like a metallic silver. So let's do that. Ooh, that feels really creamy. There we go. That's helping brighten up that lid area. So I'm just going to use this inner corner brush again and just kind of apply it. Like, these shades are pretty, but I feel like you need MAC Fix Plus, because I'm not getting as much pow as I would like. So I'm just gonna spray my brush with some Smashbox primer water and try to pick up that Robbery shade again. There we go. So I'm gonna take a little bit of Bones right here, and I'm just gonna put that on the inner corner and kind of blend it into my lid. So far, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really impressed with that palette at all. So I'm just gonna go back in with the brown shade called Delete, and I'm just gonna put a little bit more of this in my crease just to deepen it up a little bit. So now I'm gonna go in with our transition shade that we use. It's called Discreet. It's like that taupey lilac shade, and I'm just gonna run that on my lower lash line. And then I'm gonna go in with Delete again and just blend that directly on top of that. So I guess that's all I'm gonna do for eyes. I wasn't really that impressed. I mean, I like how the eye look turned out, but I'm not like amazed by this palette by any means. So next I'm gonna try a little bit of liner. I'm not gonna do a wing or anything. I'm just gonna do like a straight line, and I'm gonna be trying out this Too Faced 3-way lash lining tool. And this is what it looks like. It's super weird. It kind of looks like a pitchfork or something. I don't know. It's really weird looking. Oh, weird. It's like a stamp. Not gonna lie, I kind of like that. If I was in a mood for a wing, I would totally do one, but I don't really want to. I think this would work for a wing. Like, I think it would work really good. Look how easy that was. Wow, okay. But I'm just kind of like stamping and pulling. I'm not really I'm not like dragging it like that. I'm just kind of... So that went on super easy and it's super black. I actually really like that. I just wanted to try it out so I could hide my lash line better. I wish I would have set my face before I did the liner, because I have this thing, I've like convinced myself if I set my face after I've done liner and mascara, that's why it like transfers. I don't know, I could be crazy, but it's too late, I already messed up. So I'm going to be trying out this YSL The Shock Mascara. It's like this little deluxe size. I think I got it as a perk point, and look at the wand. The wand is like big and fluffy. So, and I stopped curling my lashes if I know I'm gonna wear falsies, because I feel like when my lashes are really curly, it's harder for me to get the false lash on, so I just don't curl them anymore. This is a really good mascara. It's not really giving me any volume, but it is like separating them nicely. So I think this mixed with like Maybelline Miss Manga or Too Faced Better Than Sex would be perfect. I really like this mascara. So for lashes, I'm gonna go pretty bold. I'm gonna be trying out the Allure x Nicole Guerrero 143 lashes. This is what they look like. These were so hard to find when they first came out. Like the only ones they had were the like everyday lashes that she had, because she has two of them, and this is like the more bolder one, and then she has one that's more like natural-ish. But this is, it says just Define. I don't know if that's the name of them or what. I'm not sure. But I'm going to be trying these bad boys out. So I was trying to convince myself not to wear the lashes because I liked how this eye look looked without, but then I just popped one on and it looks really good. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and apply them off camera and then I'll be right back. And side note, they remind me of House of Lashes Iconic. So I applied the lashes, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna take them off right after this video because they do not want to bend worth crap. Like, they're super stiff, and I couldn't even like glue them down all the way because they're just so stiff. I mean, they look gorgeous, but I feel like I'm gonna have to like wear them in a little bit. So So moving on to lips, I'm going to be trying out this Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Sebastian. It's just a gray shade. This company also has really good glitters, and I love their lip tars, and they revamped their packaging for their lip tars, so they're not in the squeeze tubes anymore. They're actually in like a lip gloss kind of container, and I feel like they're super underrated. Like, I don't think a lot of people use them, and they're really good. So I'm just going to be trying this out. This is definitely like a gray purple shade, which is always seems to happen to me. It's like when I sit down, I don't plan to match my lips to my eyeshadows at all, and like subconsciously I feel like I always do. I love this shade. I don't think a lot of people would, but I really like it. So for lipstick, I'm going to be trying out this new shade from MAC, and it's called Deep Rooted, and it's a matte shade, and I think it's going to be perfect. It's like the same color as my nails. It's going to be perfect with that lip liner. It's perfect for like a smoky winter eye with all grays. I love this. So since I don't have a new setting spray, I'm just going to be using my Milani Make It Last setting spray. I love this. It smells like perfume. I've already used like a lot, I feel. Alright guys, that concludes my full face of first impressions, so I figured we could go over everything real quick. The first thing we tried out was this Milani Prime Light Strobing and Pore Minimizing Primer. I don't think it minimized my pores at all, not like the Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer, but I do like how it left like that strobing effect, so I do like this. The next thing we tried out was the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation. Love this, love this, love this. I love it. It reminds me of the Matte and Poreless, but not, yeah, it reminds me of the Matte and Poreless. I really like this a lot, and I feel like I got full coverage for the most part, and I didn't have to use a lot of products, so love this. The next thing we tried out was the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I love this too. I think it's a great dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Like, I think it's like a dupe for this, like for real. I really like this. The next thing we tried out was the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed Airbrush Silk Pressed Powder. I really like this too. Like, I love everything I tried, minus the lashes. The next thing we tried was the Kevyn Aucoin Celestial Bronzer. I really like this too. I thought it was so pretty. If you don't like shimmer bronzers, you definitely won't like this. But I don't mind it, so I really like it. The next thing was the Kylie Cosmetics Blush in Hot and Bothered. I freaking love the shade of this. I think I just need to use a different brush, like my Morphe E4 that I always use for blush. I feel like that brush was too flimsy and it wasn't picking up enough product, so I had to keep like building it. But I do like the shade of it. The next thing was the Charlotte Tilbury Contour and Highlight Palette. I love this palette. I mean, everything seemed to go on like really nice and smooth and blend out really nice, and I love the shade of this contour. Like, normally I use a lot of gray toned contour shades, and this one is just like a light bronzer shade. It's not really gray, and I like that. The next thing was this LA Splash UD Brows. Love this. I think it's going to be like my #1 brow product for a while. The next thing is the YSL The Shock Mascara. I really like this, and I like how it looks on my lower lash line. I really like that. What else do we have? The lip liner, the OCC Sebastian lip liner. I really like this shade too. I don't think a lot of people would like it though. It kind of reminds me of MAC Stone, but a little bit darker. So if you don't like that, you probably won't like this, but I don't mind it because I like different shades. Like, I like different looks, like makeup looks, like out of the box makeup looks, I guess is what I'm saying. Can I say makeup looks 5 more times? The next thing is the MAC Deep Rooted Lipstick. I like this too. Again, I don't think it's going to be for everybody, but if you like kind of like cool tone grays with like a hint of purple, you would really like this lipstick. So the only thing I'm on the fence about is this Urban Decay Vice palette. I need to play with it a little bit more. I mean, I do like how my eye look turned out. I just don't know if it's a palette that I would be grabbing all the time, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to play with that some more. I had to throw some black liner in my waterline because I feel like something was missing. I can't even tell you the last time I wore black liner in my waterline. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this full face of first impressions. Literally, I loved everything. Literally, I loved everything. And these videos, you never know like how they're gonna turn out because you never used the products before, or I've never used the products before, so I never know what to expect. So a lot of the times when I film these, it's normally like 50-50, like 50% I like the products and 50% of the products I hate. But in this case, I'm like 99.9% sure that I love all these products. So I'm super happy with how my makeup look turned out. I love it. Oh, I really like it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe on your way out if you like to see more of me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.